Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Take It to the Hizzy Fantasy Basketball. This is TITTH number 83. Going to bring in the crew here. Got myself, Justin Bruni, Blake Jacobs, Tommy Two Socks, Tom Exel, and Stephen Hammond. Say what's up, everybody.
Yo. What's going on?
Yep. Welcome to the Hizzy Fantasy Basketball. We're here. It's our first episode. Hope you guys are excited, ready to ride with us. We're pumped up for the NBA season starting. You guys go ahead and introduce yourselves. Everybody knows me, obviously, from fantasy football. Go ahead and we'll take it from around the horn here. What's up, Blake?
Blake Jacobs from Lincoln, Nebraska. What's up, everybody?
How's it going? Tommy Two Socks for Tom Exel. I'm up in Maryland, snowing today.
What's up with you, Steve?
My name's Stephen Hammond, and I'm from the Chicagoland area. And I'm ready to talk some basketball with you guys.
All right, good stuff. What's everybody watching on Netflix these days?
I watched that Queen's Gambit. That was pretty good.
It's pretty good. Pretty solid, right?
Not bad.
Drugs, chess, not bad. I get into it.
Pills, chess.
Yeah, not bad. Running rough and fast. What about you, Tom? What about you, Steve?
I mean, I'm still watching The Office. You gotta get it in before they take it off and raise the prices. So
That's true. You gotta make your rounds.
I got nothing in rotation right now. I need to get something. Waiting for the new Ozarks to come out, and
Nice.
I'm there. Kind of similar thing with to Tom too. Like nothing really in rotation. Replay The Office. Me and the wife are always replaying the Big Bang. That's like always on a loop right now. I think we're on our second loop of like the whole thing through, and we haven't quite done it yet. But that's like our throw on some background noise. So I get it. I feel that. I don't really have anything in the rotation right now. I think I don't know if you call something in the rotation if you just watch all of it, like 80% of it, 90% of it all in one sitting. Me and the wife watched The Flight Attendant. That's pretty solid on HBO. It's not too bad. Kind of extension of Big Bang, the Kelly Kuko connection there. So we watched that. Season finale is tomorrow or today, and we've only watched it like 2 days total. So however that goes, yeah. Some stuff you just watch fast. So but let's get into it here. Just want to introduce you guys a little bit to the crowd. We'll be doing that obviously more and more as we go throughout the weeks. You guys can catch us every Wednesday night, 7:35 Eastern time, 6:35 Central. Be sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Please support if and when you can. Tonight, we're going to start off with the first round. Start heavy with the first overall pick. I think obviously that's a good place to start with the basketball season starting next week. I think a couple of us have some live games up. Knicks, Cavs, Bulls, Thunder is going to be coming on soon, so we'll call out some stuff from those games as well. But let's just jump right into it. Blake, you kind of took things off with fantasy basketball for us with the number one overall pick talk. You're taking Luka Doncic. I'm taking Luka Doncic. Tom, Steve, what do you guys think? Where are you guys at with your first overall pick in your fantasy basketball draft?
I mean, I like Luka, but his injury his risk is up there for me. I like James Harden. He's averaging 30 points a season. Like you can't beat that. No,
that's a good ground to stand on, right? How about you, Steve?
Yeah, I'm in the Luka boat too. I mean, I just think that there's not a lot on that team right now. Porzingis being out for a little bit, he's going to have to carry a lot of the workload. So I think for me, that's kind of my clear-cut number one this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think Luka's pretty solid. I think really realistically, a lot of people are always looking for like an advanced stat, and I think usage is the best one to go with. When you take your total production matched up with the entire production of your team's offense or just the success of your team, I think he leads the league with like 36 or 37%. So, if you're looking at like a wide receiver in football and you see a guy who's like 38%, 40% receiving share or touches, you're going to lock that guy up all day. It's the same thing in basketball, and Luka is just at the top of that chart. Harden is right there too. Giannis is right there. Those guys, have their offenses, ran through them. Everything's built around, those guys. But I agree with you, Steve, that situation in Dallas is, is just really like the perfect storm. Blake, when do you think Porzingis could actually be back? Like, when do you think it's actually like a factor? Like, the numbers could kind of start to even out or tamper off.
I mean, I don't really know the timetable for like the surgery repair on his knee. Was it a lateral meniscus tear? But I would assume after the All-Star break.
Yeah. I mean, and a good half of the season where you're getting one guy throttled, I think we all want a piece of that. James Harden, though, It really is hard. Like I wrote the same thing. I agree with Blake taking him first overall, Steve as well. But James Harden, that's a really good piece to build around too. He's averaged over 30 points a game for the past 3 seasons. And if you're really sharp, like if you feel, you can draft your team with some solid depth, points is a good, place to start, right? Harden also leads the league in steals. That's huge, right? 3-pointers made, huge, and just has that volume. But what are your main concerns about him, Blake? Like, what's something that like just kind of holds you back that just says like, hey, this guy's got to be in the back seat at least until I get something, more clarity on a particular topic. Sorry.
For who were you talking about? Harden?
Yeah.
Just the doubt and where he's going to end up. I mean, is he going to stay in Houston? Is he going to play in Houston if he stays? Is he going to? I don't know. It's a lot of doubt around him.
I agree. You guys have any takes there, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, I think with him demanding this trade, I think that, sits uneasy with me. And then I think, does he sit out games because of it or does he miss anything? But I agree with you. Like you said, the points that he can put in, 30, 35 plus, he could be putting in. I think that's something you can to build your team around easily.
For sure.
Yeah, we got Kenny here in the chat. He's saying he's going Russ. You going Russ number 1 overall, Kenny? I don't know, brother. That's a rich take.
That is.
I like it. Don't stand down from it though. Go and do it. Put your money where your mouth is. I don't hate it. And not knocking a good ball player, but Bradley Beal there. Obviously, the situation is going to be a little bit similar to Houston, right? Having a pure scorer like that, but he's still going to rack rebounds. He's still going to get those numbers, but I just like his value in the 2nd or 3rd round because in a lot of places he's going to be there. So I can pair him with a Giannis or a big guy like Jokic or even a LeBron. I can if I get him at the LeBron at the end of the 1st round potentially. So anyone else there is like would anyone consider Davis? Is in the mix? Yeah. I see him going first overall in a lot of mocks.
But like, if Luka's there, I'm taking him. It's plain and simple. Yeah. That's all it is.
Yeah,
no hate on Davis at all. I mean, he's a great player.
Yeah, I mean, in my article, I said he's like in the top 5. In my opinion, he's like one of the best players. Just period, like the best player.
Easy. Yeah. I wouldn't argue that he is the best player.
Yeah, if you're starting a franchise and you have those top 5 guys, you're probably starting with Davis. Like if all of them are in their prime, no injuries, healthy, all that. You're probably taking Davis.
Yeah.
At this point, yes.
So let's kind of shift over to that a little bit and just for like the viewers, because a lot of people I feel like, they see, the LeBron numbers, they see the Davis numbers and they're like, why aren't these guys in the top 5? Like, is it just that easy to take them at 3 or at 5 or something like that? Because I feel like a lot of people get caught, as I referenced today, staring at the crown, and or even the champions, right? Like just the Lakers in general, like, oh, they're the league champions. They're going to be good. A lot of curb appeal, right? So just kind of like, anyone, can just shout it out. Like, why not take Davis at that top spot?
For me, it's really like, if you think about it, Davis is going to come off the court. Then who are they going to replace him with? You got LeBron taking up those minutes too. So you're really splitting it pretty much down the middle. So when you got like Luka or Harden, they're getting the ball no matter what, pretty much. One way or another. Whereas Davis, he's going to get you the rebounds. He'll get you like the average, but at the same time, they can pull him off, rest him up, keep him healthy, kind of like what they did in the bubble. Like he played well, but he wasn't the dominant. Oh my gosh, watch out! It's like, hey, it was a team effort for LA. So I just can't see him at 1. Definitely top 5, but not 1.
Agree.
I think with for the Lakers and the Heat, I think resting really comes into play there. I think that they know that they'll be one of the teams that makes the playoffs comfortably, and I think they'll be more inclined to sit him and LeBron out. They're resting them because how many months have they had off since the bubble?
4 months. A lot of these teams though, have had a good amount of time off. Like, because you're looking at like Miami and the Lakers being off for 4 months. Everybody else has additional weeks on top of that. So, let's move on to kind of the second pick. I have Karl Anthony Towns at 2. I've gotten good responses, bad responses from that. Where's everybody at there? Who are you taking at 2? Let's say Luka's locked up.
I'm taking Karl Anthony Towns for sure.
All right.
I love it. I loved it in your article. I think it's good beyond the court for him because, like he said, he had 7 people pass away from COVID.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. So, I know, in NFL, you see, the players, they have that big game. This is going to be his big season. He's playing for them. I mean, aside from his natural ability, he's got that extra motivation. He's going to lay it up. If he's at 2 and I have the second pick, I'm not even thinking twice.
Yeah, I will take him over Anthony Davis at this point right now. Similar reasons to also taking a Luka. If you just look at the roster, everything's ran through him. He's taking step forwards in a lot of his stats, 3-pointers specifically. And because of that, it just opens up the floor. It opens up a lot of scoring options for everybody else. And then, of course, includes him into assists, right? So, yeah, I'm all about him. Steve, Blake, what about you guys?
I agree. I mean, it's just so hard because you get to the pick and you're sitting there staring at it and you're like, do I do it? Do I take Towns? Do I, it's just, I like it. I feel like that's a safe pick. I think it's the safest pick for sure. But you got Anthony Davis staring you in the face. I mean, it's hard to pass him up too. So
yeah. Steve, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I personally wouldn't. I'd probably lean Harden a little bit more, but I do think there's a premium on those top of the draft, top of the first round centers. I think that really plays a factor into why someone might take him too. 3 ball, he's efficient. I think you could make an argument for him being 2 though.
He's pretty good at the line too.
Oh yeah. Good free throw percentage. The field goal percentage could be a little bit higher. He's just like right around 500, I think, last season. But again, he left early, wrist injury. I think that's just the biggest slack that I'm getting from it is you're taking a guy that's coming back from injury, number 2 overall, over guys that maybe they get rest. But at the end of the day, is he now injury prone? And I don't really think so. He didn't miss any time at all before he got hurt. I believe he played.
No more injury prone than anyone else. I mean,
Right, exactly. Yeah. If Anthony Davis is injury prone and, he could be sitting out games, then, as Kenny alluded here, AD called him the Tin Man in the chat here. Yeah, all these guys can potentially get hurt. I mean, Luka was on his way to an MVP season before he went down. I mean, how many games did he play? And he only had 17 triple doubles. I mean, he didn't even play a full season.
Yeah. Marcus Morris got him.
Bastard. It was just that ankle roll, right?
Yeah.
Looking at, we got Cavs up 12-9 here. We got 8 minutes left in the first quarter, getting some preseason basketball off the ground. If you guys are up in the chat, be sure to destroy the like button and just subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. If we're looking at the third pick and we have, Luka locked up, let's just say for the sake of mock drafts in general, I'm seeing Harden going 2. We'll say Towns goes at 3, Davis at 4. Is Giannis a lock for you guys at 5 at that point?
Not necessarily.
Who do you think? Who do you like there, Blake? Who could you sneak in or move up?
I mean, it's between Giannis and Curry for me. I mean,
Curry. Okay, getting Curry back in the mix. I have him a little bit farther down in the first round. Talk some Steph Curry up a little bit here.
I mean, the guy's just special, and he's going to play. He's gonna be playing a lot. I mean, they're going to need him if they want to push to make a playoff push. They're going to have to win games, and they're going to need him to do it. I mean, you got no.
I agree.
How long is Klay Thompson out for?
Oh, I think he could still be out for the whole year.
Exactly. So, I mean, who's backing him up? You got Wiggins and Oubre.
I mean, they got the Draymond, your boy, Draymond Green. I think it revives his value some for sure.
It definitely helps him. So
I'd say so, yeah.
So do you see?
He was hurt last year in fantasy. Draymond Green was struggling in fantasy last year.
They were running him at point for whole game. It's crazy.
It's pretty wild. Steve, Tommy, what do you guys think about taking potentially Stephen Curry at 5? Is that okay for you, or do you have someone else in mind ahead of him?
I like Curry at 5 or even Damian Lillard.
Okay. Okay.
Only if thing is, was it just bubble magic for him, or was it legit his breaking out kind of thing?
Damian Lillard?
Yeah.
Oh no, it was all Dame, baby. It was all Dame. I drafted Dame last year in the first round. You don't sleep any more comfortable at night owning Damian Lillard. I mean, that's just some of the best sleep I've ever gotten in my life. Going to bed after big Dame Lillard, blow up nights, 40, 50 point games, was it? He was second or third in the league for 3-pointers made. So yeah, it was a consistent thing for sure. So I don't hate him there. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm taking Curry that soon. I do think, though, he's going to come right back in, be the focus of that offense. Clay being out, he's going to put up the shots. I think all that. I even think Jokic, you could see there, his points per game. I would like to see that be a little bit higher. I think it was around 20 last year.
It was literally like on the dot, like 19-9.
Yeah, so I think if he could take that next step, maybe he doesn't have a lot of competition competing for minutes down there in the paint. So I think he could do that. But Curry, I don't have too far off there. So
yeah, for Curry, that's a little too rich for me. Like this season, I would still rather own Damian Lillard or Trae Young ahead of Steph Curry. Like I still feel like Trae Young is going to take a huge step forward this year. I really like their lineup. Would they add Clint Capella, Bogdanovich, and was there somebody else? Oh, they added Gallinari, but I don't know if he's going to start. But I really like what they've built around him. He was second in the league last year in assists. I think he could be first. I mean, LeBron finished first. I feel like that could come down. Not sure if he wants to be king of assist every night. But I don't know. I feel like Trae Young's going to push the numbers this year, even add some more on defense. Obviously, 3-pointers are there for him. So I feel like those guys are just going to push the numbers a little bit more than Curry, because I still feel like Curry could find some load management at some point. Like I'm with you, Blake, there with the need. Like with Thompson gone, Wiggins, Oubre, Curry, like those are your scorers, right? Do you guys think that Wiseman can come along here? Like, is Wiseman gonna, take like an 8 or 10 game kind of development and just kind of like blow up, or is he just going to be kind of slow and steady Eddie for the year and just kind of be a plug and play?
Plug and play for sure.
You don't think he's going to like blow up? He's not going to be like, going for like 15 and 10 or anything crazy. He's just going to be just kind of
sure he will
out
some games, but it's just going to be, how are you going to predict it? I mean,
right, sure. I don't know. I feel like where he was taken. Like if I was a Chicago Bulls, I want to be taking James Wiseman over Patrick Williams. They were trying to trade Wendell Carter to move up into that spot. Didn't happen. So I wanted him on my team. Certainly wouldn't have been a starter for us day one. It looks like Kevin Looney's probably going to start there, but I feel like that's just kind of like a Steve Kerr move. Like, I'm just going to let my experienced guy go out there, get it done, not ask too much of Wiseman early on. But I feel like guys like that are really the key to unlocking Steph Curry, really getting the rest of these guys going. And hopefully that, each party feeds off the other, right? Curry kind of elevates the guys that were there last year that were kind of so. A bench depth guy that I like there is like Eric Paschall, he off the bench. Yep. He was a guy that was like kind of in and out of my lineup, on and off my fantasy team last year. So a little too rich for Curry for me. I like Giannis at 5. I like Jokic at 5. Jokic, I think we all want to see take a step forward with his points, though, like you alluded to, Steve. Like if he gets to like 25 a game, 26 a game, like MVP race, like you're at the top. Like with everything else that he does, what's not to like? If you guys ever see, I referenced in my article like the play he made where he just catches the ball, palms it, and throws it down the court for an assist. Like, you've seen that one? It's just wild, the stuff this guy can do. And like he backs dudes down like he's Dirk Nowitzki. Like that's like kind of what I see from him on offense. I know it's a weird comparison because he's like so kind of like awkward looking sometimes. Like his size. Like what was it? Like during COVID, he like lost all that weight. So I don't even know what he looks like right now. Because he had like that that crazy pudgy body, and then COVID hit, and he just looked like an athlete all of a sudden. It was pretty wild. So let's see. I jumped into. Let's see. Someone asked thoughts on Giannis signing the Supermax. We'll kind of touch there a little bit. He got a 5-year deal, 4th year with the option, so he can opt out after the 4th year. What do you guys think about the deal? $228 million. Solid for Giannis. Solid for Milwaukee. Who's the winner? Who's the loser here?
Milwaukee's the winner.
Nobody's the winner?
Milwaukee's the winner.
Milwaukee's the winner.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, go ahead. Take it away, Tom.
Just for me, like I think I read a report today. It was like he showed his agent or like the ownership text of like people trying to recruit him, and he still stayed in Milwaukee. Like that's huge for Milwaukee. Like he could have easily gone to the Mavericks or somewhere like that. Which would have been cool.
I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it at all. We wouldn't be loving it for fantasy, but for like being a basketball fan, like we'd be watching the shit out of some Dallas Mavericks games.
Oh yeah.
What about you, Steve? What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think everyone kind of walks away winner. I think obviously Giannis, he gets paid, and I think Bucks, they get their star, their centerpiece for years to come. And I even think the NBA as a whole kind of gets a win from that, him staying put instead of teaming up with someone somewhere, and create some balance in the league. And we're going to see hopefully the Bucks push for a championship with them.
Yeah, I just like it because it just fits the Giannis narrative. Like he's always like, "Oh, I don't need the stars. I don't like the stars. They are not my friends. LeBron and I are not friends. Fuck LeBron." You know, like I like that about him. I like the holiday ad, you know, to Milwaukee. I think that those two are going to be a great tandem. Instead of, you know, I reference, you know, Giannis always, or ISO Giannis, and, you know, him always trying to murder the lane and kill people down the middle of the court. But I think we're actually going to be able to see him, you know, work more in a pick and roll situation, and you know, just adding in like a guy like you know, Middleton into that mix too. You know, like they're going to have some options. That offense is still going to continue to flow. So I like it for Milwaukee, but the fourth year option though, it's kind of like the hook at the sports book. You know, what if this team doesn't win a championship by that time? Is he out in 4 years?
Yes,
I think so. Blake, what do you guys think?
100%.
Yeah.
I pretty much saw it as that, like, Giannis gave them, hey, I'm giving you another 4 years in my prime. Thanks for the money. Cool. Appreciate the bag. Going to buy some fun stuff with it, especially in the state of you know, Milwaukee, like, or whatever, Wisconsin. I want to be able to do a lot here with that money. Appreciate that, but you got 4 years. You're on the clock. Like, win me a ship or we're out of here. You know, like, give me what I want, the pieces around me. Otherwise, you know, Mavericks or wherever, Los Angeles. Maybe it'll really piss him off and come to Chicago. I don't know. That'd be great. I wouldn't hate it. In 4 years, though, we'll see what we get out of him. Appreciate that, Packers GOAT. Bobby Portis looking like Anthony Davis 2.0. Yeah, well, he's not playing on the Bulls anymore, so that's about right. That's about right. At least right now, he says. At least right now. Giannis said he's staying in Milwaukee forever. Like, well, let's get it. Let's see what happens if he doesn't win a chip in 4 years. They bought some time. Probably the most expensive time I've ever seen purchased, but they've gotten some, so that's nice. That's good stuff. So let's move back into the mock here. I'm just going to jump into the one that I have in front of me and not necessarily my own. So at about 6, that's where I put like Dame Lillard or Trae Young, kind of like who's ever there. Blake, you're a Celtics guy. You got the Tatum jersey in the background. You wouldn't take Tatum at 5 or 6? You take Curry ahead of him still?
I would.
You would take Tatum ahead of him, or at 5 and 6?
No, I would take Curry ahead of Tatum at that point. So at 5, yeah.
Okay, so where are you ready to pull Tatum? Because I know you told me personally you're ready to take him in the first round. I think I have him at 7 or 8. I don't have my mock.
I'd say right around there. Yeah, 7 or 8.
Okay. It's any particular reason why to hold him off that far? I mean, the lineup is very similar to a situation like Luka right now. Like, who's there?
It is and it isn't, but yeah. It's just I like Curry better at 5 anyways. I mean,
right.
But like 7 or 8, yeah, I'll take him.
Okay, fair. I mean, fair enough. Where are you guys ready to pull the trigger on a Jason Tatum, Stephen Blake? Is that like a safe place for you? Or are you preferring more the end of that round, earlier?
Yeah, I got him at 9 on mine.
Okay,
I got Curry, Lillard in front of him. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong with him being so young, and I think he's got, you know, bright future ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
I think you want a little bit more though out of one of those first half guys in the first round. But later in the first, I don't have any problem pulling the trigger on him there.
Tommy, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. Like Jason Tatum in my mock draft, he went 13.
Nice, sweet. Let's go.
I mean, I didn't get him though, but but there's just a lot of talent ahead of him that you can snag. I like him. I think he's going to be a good player, but at 7 or 8, I just can't pull the trigger.
Yeah, I like him that early. You know, I still like him. I like him ahead of LeBron. You know, I like him ahead of Kawhi. Who else do I like him ahead of? Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker still. You know, those are some of the guys that I see kind of floating at the end of the first round, but kind of beginning of the second. So yeah, I like him a lot. He fills the stat sheet. I mean, and he improves like every year. You know, last year he improved 3-point shooting. He adds a rebound to his stat line every single year since coming into the league. Like he just continues to develop. And Blake, you might have more insight on this than the rest of us because you're a Celtics fan. But what's up with this whole 6'8" to 6'10" thing? They're saying
the
that
2 inches. I don't know. It's
what is that?
Probably some Kevin Durant BS. Who knows? I mean,
yeah. Like I was like, okay, well, that's cool. Like, isn't this dude kind of old? Like, he's still growing? I mean, I guess, like, if you're a 7-foot person, like, it's okay to continue to be growing late into your life.
Was he 23, 22?
I guess. I mean, that's got to be awesome, man. Like, could just, like, waking up one day, like, oh, cool. I grew 2 inches. I got a 6-pack. This is awesome. Like, so a fucking spider bite me or what? What the hell? The basketball spider? This dude in the chat, Packers Goats, asking about Packers Chiefs in the playoffs. Wrong show, wrong night. We'll be back tomorrow for football, but yeah, I agree with you. It could happen. Let's see who else we got here. Jason Tatum, Jokic. I mean, we talked about him a little bit already. Steve, you mentioned taking him at 5. I think I have him at in that mix between Tatum 7 or 8. I think 5. I wouldn't hate taking him. I feel like he's just like the guy that I want to take if I just miss out on like my guys. Like for myself, like 1 through 4. You know, I want to get Luka or Harden. Like if I miss on one, that's kind of the other that I want to get. And if I miss on both, like I'll have another guy, you know, like right behind him, probably Davis. Like and then in the next 4 picks, I'll have like a guy that I prioritize, right, and kind of go through each round quarterly like that. You know, for Jokic, I feel like I could put him in like that second 4-rounder. Like, you know, if all my guys go, like, you know, if everyone, you know, prints off my mock draft, you know, in my drafts, and you know, it's like, well, we're just not going to let Bruni get his guys. Well, I feel like Jokic will probably be someone that I could get. I feel like he's the safest player after 5. Do you guys have another player that could kind of fit into that mold? Safest player in the first round after pick 5. Home run, you're like, you know, you're sleeping good at night. Kind of like maybe it's Dame Lillard. I don't know.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I was going to say Lillard.
Steve, you got one? I got you reading everybody's minds.
Yeah, I mean, Damian Lillard definitely would be that. I mean, he's a guy who's putting up 30 points, all-around player. He's kind of what you want. But, I mean, where do you guys have Trae Young going?
I have him at I have him, I think, I need to pull up my mock if anyone else can do that too, actually, because my computer's a little hard to navigate. 9, Trae Young?
Yeah.
9? I thought I had him lower than that.
Nope. That's 9.
That's where you're taking him.
Yep.
Where do I have Steph? I thought I had 11. Him at Steph.
11.
Okay, well there it is. Steph at 11, him at 9. For some reason, I thought I had those maybe bumped up a spot like 8 and 10 or something like that. For some reason, don't know. I'm trying to share the stream out to Twitter here. Sorry, real quick. This guy took Tatum at 9 as well. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Jokic for me. Again, just to say, like beyond 5, those top 5 guys, he's the safest pick for me in the first round. Like he's the absolute home run. I do see some people trying to sneak in like Kawhi Leonard. Is he an okay pick for you guys in the first round? Like, are you comfortable with that? To me, the load management, I say no. Like he's pretty much like the face of load management.
I'll take Kevin Durant over him.
Agreed. How about you guys?
I take LeBron, honestly.
Okay.
I got Kawhi above LeBron. I got him at 11.
Okay.
I do think you got to worry about load management and all that. But I think the Clippers are set to bounce back. They kind of got embarrassed in the bubble. And I think Kawhi takes that personal this year and then comes out and kind of goes back.
I would love for Kawhi to take anything personally. That would be great. He's like a stone human. Like he's exactly. He doesn't care. He's such a bastard. Oh man. No, I would take. I would personally still take LeBron over Kawhi. LeBron. I guess we'll just jump into him. I think I have him at 10. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, the dude puts up numbers. Like he's still King James at the end of the day. It's just that you never know where he's going to go with it. I feel like this dude can literally throttle any stat that he wants at any given time. It's like,
but is he going to do it?
Exactly. Like literally one night he'll go off for 19 assists, the next night 4. And you're like, what? Like how? Like, what do you mean? Like, is there some variance here? Like, can we have like some like equality in the numbers? Like 10 the next night?
That's why I like players like Luka over Davis for that reason. The Lakers are going to be good. They're going to be ahead. Who knows?
They are going to be ahead.
Who knows what happens in the fourth quarter? They're up by 20 points. Those extra 7 minutes that LeBron or Davis would be playing.
Yeah, when Davis is already hitting my prop in the third quarter. Oh, I love Anthony Davis props. He just cash money. On that note, destroy the like button, subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. Thank you so much. LeBron, he also doesn't play defense. Like since coming to LA, steals, blocks, all down. Like the tape is there too. Like my favorite highlight is watching Kyle Kuzma shove LeBron to play defense. A player like Kyle Kuzma pushing the king to the wing. You know what I mean? Like to throw your hands up, motherfucker. Like come on, play some defense. I think there's I should have linked it in that article actually. I was watching, it was like one after another. It was like 7 videos that show LeBron James no longer plays defense. It was great. I loved it. I'm an MJ guy. What are you gonna do? You know? But for fantasy, like he still had 13 triple doubles last year. Like you cannot deny yourself LeBron James. I just like him at the end of the first round. Are you guys? Or is anyone not taking him in the first round? You're like, nope, round 2, and I'm waiting for the value. Like, give me the edge.
I love LeBron and all, but I just don't want him. I mean, I'd just rather pick someone else. I don't care who it is, and there's going to be plenty of other players around him that I like. So, I personally am not going to draft him. What
do you think, Tom? What do you think, Steve?
In my mock draft, LeBron, I had a second pick. LeBron fell in the second round. I snagged him there. I went Harden, LeBron. I was like, that's a good start. So
you got Harden and LeBron in your draft?
Yeah.
You weren't kidding when he said stacked.
You weren't kidding.
Yeah, you weren't kidding when he said stacked. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, I got LeBron rounding out my first round. I think he falls right to 12. Like you said, last year he averaged a double-double, 25 points, 10 assists. Still, I think he had like 7 rebounds per game. I mean, he's still the man. I do think, though, him being 35 years old and rest is going to come play a factor in his season. So, I mean, I'd be weary of drafting him too high, but to round out the first round, I think it's a no-brainer.
Oh yeah, I'll take him at the end of the first for sure. But if I have like the last pick in the first round, I'm taking him in the second, just so I can say I took him in the second round. Just so I can say that's where I pulled the trigger. I think the earliest I would take LeBron. Again, it's got to be a situation where like all my guys are gone. You know, like if I'm sitting there and it's, you know, Steph Curry, LeBron, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, I'm probably going to take LeBron, you know, like if it's those mix of guys, just because I still think like, you know, the assists, the rebounds will always be there. The scoring, like literally he'll want to be a legend one night, another night, he'll just want to be the facilitator. So it'll be there, but you got to take the good with the bad. And it's just another one of those guys I feel like you have to be sharp and build around like very, you know, efficiently, I should say, right? Like if you draft LeBron, you got to follow him up with an elite defender, you know, that also fills other stats, like, you know, someone like that in the second round, because you're going to have to make up for those steals and blocks that you're missing out. All these guys that we're referencing up front, they're all playing some level of defense in some fashion. It doesn't have to be both. You know, Giannis gets a block and a steal a night. Like that's his bag. He's a guy that can easily do, you know, 30, 10, 5, 1-and-1 any night. Just won't be there on the 3-pointers, right? So everybody has their shtick. In the first round, I feel like you're always going to hit a home run. To me, it's about like the second round, the third round, like who you're building with your main guy. Because if you add in, you know, if you go LeBron and then you just go and grab someone else who just plays all offense in the second round, you know, what are you doing? You know, you got to balance the categories. And even in points, it's kind of the same way, right? Like you can't just go and throttle another guy that's going to be shooting a lot because, you know, the shooters, they can go cold. Points, you go negative, right? You can go backwards. You don't do that with categories. You don't unrack an assist. You know, they don't take it away. You know, doesn't go bye-bye. It's only on the up and up, if you will, right? So with that, let's kind of jump over to just like some around the league talk. Just going to jump from kind of like team to team here. Just some questions I have for you guys just around each one. I like Atlanta a lot. I like Atlanta's starting 5. Are you guys what do you think about Cam Reddish versus Gallinari for like the starting lineup? Cam Reddish is listed as the starter. I feel like Gallinari should start, but I feel like he's just going to be like ultimate 6-man type of situation. Like they're going to be trying to use him off the bench a lot. Do you have any preference there who should be starting? And will you draft either of those guys in fantasy?
I probably won't, but I think, who's starting is all going to come up to who they're playing. It'll probably depend on matchups and, what lineup they want to roll with. But I love John Collins. I will draft me some John Collins.
I will draft John Collins. I'm seeing going in very heavily in the second round. People are very high on some John Collins. Don't want to take him too early. I'd like to grab him at the end of the second, beginning of the third if I can, but a lot of people are getting sharp on that dude. They're figuring it out. Trae Young, obviously there, all about him. Steve, Tom, what do you guys think about Cam versus Danilo, and will you draft either of them?
No, I won't be drafting either of them. I need to see more, honestly. I think at times Cam Reddish can be streaky. But, I mean, if towards the end of the year he becomes a permanent starter, it wouldn't surprise me. One person I really like, the addition for the Hawks, is Rondo. I think that helped a veteran presence like that with when you got Trae Young, Chris Dunn now with them. I think that Rondo
going to get some play.
Yeah.
What up, Donnie? We got Donnie Knox jumping in the chat. Good evening, sir. To the Hizzy follower, top fan. No big deal. What do you think, Tom?
I'd take Cam. I'd draft him, but only if depending on how my draft is going. Like if I need that body, I'm gonna snag him like towards the end of like the whole draft. Not early,
absolutely.
What's he going in like the 12th?
Oh, he's going pretty late. And I mean, same thing with Gallinari too. But I mean, Tom brings up a really good point. I mean, you're not both of those guys. They're not going anywhere. At the top of the drafts. I'm seeing. Steve referenced Chris Dunn. He's going in like the 14th round. Cam Reddish went in the 13th. Not even seeing Gallinari just yet. He may not even be getting drafted.
I think it's shocking how low down Dragic is going. He's going in like the 9th, 10th round.
I mean, his minutes are kind of limited. They do throw him to the bench, pretty quickly, but his value is always high. He's always throttling the pace of the game. I'm a big fan of his. He was on my team last year on a very successful roster of mine. So yeah, I was all about him previous season. I mean, going to be trying to grab him at value for sure.
Yeah, at that round, that ADP is just nuts to me.
Donnie says he has many leather-bound books in his apartment. It smells of rich mahogany.
Nice. Anchorman references.
Well done. Yeah, it's always good. Well done, Donnie. Keep it up. Let's see here. Going from the Hawks, let's go over to Blake's Celtics. Blake, who's the next guy up here after Tatum? Like, who's the next guy we should be thinking about drafting after Tatum with all these injuries? Like, is it still Kemba? Like, and where are you comfortable drafting Kemba?
Jaylen Brown.
Okay, where you draft him at?
I mean, you can get him in probably the 6th round in some drafts. Like I said, it depends on how many teams are in it, but I would easily take him in the 6th round.
Okay, fair enough. How about Tom, Steve? I think that's a pretty solid answer. I don't know if we're actually going to find anybody else there. I mean, is it Kemba still, or for you guys, or is it a Jaylen Brown?
I like Jaylen Brown. Yeah. It's one of those situations. Like,
I think Kemba's still going to be out for a little while, right? That's true. That's a big factor. How long is Kemba going to be out? Do you know? Any idea? I'm feeling like a month, maybe 2.
Yeah, a month.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
The way Kemba's been playing, it's really not hurting us that much. We got Jeff Teague, and Teague really isn't that bad of a player.
He's a solid point guard. Like he's not going to blow up like fantasy lineups for you. You're not going to be like, oh, blew up the box score tonight. It's not the same type of sleep you get with like Dame Lillard.
Like a Brogdon.
Yeah, exactly. But he is solid at his position, and he plays his role very well. I like Marcus Smart there too. I can make a dollar holler on Marcus Smart. I think he's going to be kind of needed for that first stretch. Like round 8, you said?
Yeah, I'd say round 8 you can get him.
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty fair value.
And the guy's going to get you 1 steal a game at least.
He's a dog.
Yeah, he's going to get you 1 steal.
Grinder.
All right, next up is Brooklyn. Blake, you said you're comfortable taking Durant in the first round. Tom, yes. Steve, can you do the same?
Gotta risk it.
I don't know if I can put him in a first round. I mean, early second. I wouldn't be surprised though if come the end of the year, I'm eating those words. I mean, he before the
it's
injury,
going to be the same way for me.
He was arguably the best basketball player in the world. So I'll probably come back to eat those words, but I also think second round, if you can get him early second round, you're getting a steal right there.
For sure.
Yeah, if you get to pair him with another elite player, another potential MVP candidate, yeah, I mean, you're going to be sitting pretty solid. I can't take him in the first round.
I mean, if you're getting him late in the first, I mean, you might as well take him and get another guy right after him. I mean, obviously you're not going to take him the first 7 picks, but if he's there,
you said you take Durant over LeBron, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'm the other way still. Like I would still take LeBron over KD.
In category leagues, I mean, like you said, Durant's going to defend for one, and his free throw percentage is 10% better at least.
Okay, fair enough.
So, I mean, like, those things, you think about, they add up on your team, and they can hurt you. You lose in one category, you lose your matchup.
Yeah, no, you're 1,000% correct. I'm scared. I'm not even going to lie. I ain't going to back down from it whatsoever. I'm scared he's going to get hurt.
Yeah.
He just always gets hurt. I'm just always scared of these guys that just constantly get taken out of lineups. And, we saw him dog it, come back for the Warriors, right? Didn't need to be in that lineup when he got re-injured himself again. Like he's that guy that will put himself in that situation, and that scares the hell out of me. It really does. Yeah, I just feel like he's going to get hurt again. Like I love everything that he does. I mean, he's a beautiful player. Like he's just got those damn skinny legs. I don't know. Like they look like they're going to break every time down the court. Like it's not like you're ever going to break his ankles, off ball, trying to, ball him up, but he'll do it himself. Just, being a freak that he is. So he just scares the hell out of me. I can't take him in the first round. Like I'll still take LeBron over him. And again, I could be in the same boat with Steve, eating our words, fried words at the end of the year. Let's see here. Going over to Charlotte, LaMelo. When are we taking LaMelo? I need double-digit rounds still.
Yeah, I'm taking him last pick.
I don't know if he'll be their last pick, but I'll take him double-digit rounds. What do you think, Steve? Were you willing to take LaMelo Ball?
Yeah, I think I don't know if I'm really touching LaMelo though. I'm worried about he might just be too much of a facilitator. I don't know how much he's really going to be putting in points wise. Yeah, later in the draft, I might take a chance on him, but I don't know. I think I'm going to just stay away for now, see how he kind of develops.
It's going to be hard to imagine a lineup without Rozier in it. I mean, that guy's going to take away from him. I mean, they paid for him for a reason.
Terry. He's scary Terry for sure. He earns the name. I like him a lot. LaMelo, I'm waiting until double-digit rounds for sure. I'm looking like 13, 14, 15 type of situation if I can. I just feel like a lot of people are going to be chasing the name on the back. Everybody's hyping up the Ball brothers. LiAngelo waived already, by the way. Just throwing that out there. It didn't last long. Sorry, Lamar. I know you lived the dream for like a week, whatever it was, but I think he's just going down to the G League. Shout out LiAngelo and the Ball brothers. But I feel like everybody's always just trying to hype him up, and they just find a reason to take him. Kind of the same thing with Lonzo. Even like I feel like just a lot of people are just like, oh, it's Lonzo. He gets assists. He plays with Zion. I'm taking him. Yeah, I'm taking him. Heck, except for that guy will drive down your shooting numbers,
Exactly.
3-point shooting, free throws. Like he's a cancer to 9 category fantasy lineups.
15.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's move on to the next squad. The Bulls. We all know Zach LaVine's our first Bull. Who's on the Lauri Markkanen train? Huh? Anybody with me?
I don't love it.
Huh? Yeah, no, he gets hurt a lot too. I'm scared of him getting hurt all the time too. I mean, I like the 3-pointers. I like the rebounds. Obviously, just points in general are there. Doesn't play that great of defense though. Like, is there anyone else ownable on this team for you guys other than Zach LaVine?
White, I mean, if you have him, on the end of your bench, you can throw him in and he can get you some threes.
Yeah, he could be one of those sharp guys you add at the end of your draft. If you go, like a Jokic, like a Jokic in the front end of your draft, and you're trying to back up, points at the very end. It could be one of those situations. But man, like, I feel like White's going to get in situations where he's a starter, he's not the starter. His minutes are going to kind of get played with, kind of puppet master wise throughout the year. I feel like Donovan's going to just going to tinker with him a little bit, just try to figure it out, figure out the combination between him and Satoransky. That was a guy that you referenced, Blake. You make a dollar holler on any of those bench guys, Satoransky, Patrick Williams, Wendell Carter, anyone, Bueller, anyone?
The only thing I'm going to do with them is, throw them in DFS lineups, on a given day, but that's about it. I probably won't pick them up because I'm just going to have other options.
I got you. Steve, Tommy, what do you think about this Bulls roster here? Who are you liking in draft here after Zach LaVine?
Maybe Laurie. Coming off, I don't know. The Bulls.
It's tough. The skill's there, but it's just kind of meh in that lineup, though.
No one pops out at me like, oh, I got to get him besides LaVine,
Otto Porter, I took him in some mock drafts at the very end. His minutes are going to be very limited to start because Donovan doesn't want to throttle him because he just keeps getting hurt and getting hurt and getting hurt. So enter Patrick Williams. That's kind of I talked to you guys before the show. He's going to play a lot of the 2, a lot of the 3. I think it's going to be a lot of the 3 because I feel like Otto is going to get a real strong load management setup to start the season. But I do feel like he could be one of those guys down the stretch of the year that, is pulling in, rebounds, points for you, playing a little bit more defense. He's just got to be there. He's just got to be alive and healthy. Let's move on to the next squad. Cleveland, bad of the bad. We're watching them right now. They're up 45-34 on the Knicks. Andre Drummond, let's go, right?
Yeah.
That's about it. It's led the league in rebounds, I believe, last year, something like that. Top 3.
I think Sexton could be a sleeper pick for you this year.
Yeah. Who do you like more, Sexton or Garland?
Sexton.
Tom, Steve?
Sexton for me.
Got you. Tom?
Yeah, I like Sexton better.
They're both good. I had both of them last year. I just said, screw it. I threw both of them on my roster. I can't remember what Sexton wasn't doing, but Garland started getting more assists or something like that. So they're both getting points. Honestly, a lot of their points come from both of those guys. They just shoot up a bunch of shots. They don't really have much else in between. C.D. Osman. They lost Tristan Thompson. They have Andre Drummond at center. That's awesome. He's going to grab up a bunch of boards. He's the guy that I want there. But yeah, next man up would definitely be Colin Sexton. But I don't want anyone listening to take what we just said and say prioritize Cleveland players. Andre Drummond, I think, is pretty solid though. Where are you guys comfortable taking him? Is the second round too rich for a guy like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
For me, anyways.
Where am I seeing him? I'm seeing him go in the 3rd. Man, I saw him go ahead of Nikola Vucevic. No. I'm still taking Nikola,
I will definitely
baby.
take Vuce. Yep.
Yeah, I'll take that dude
children.
all day in the 2nd round. It's going in the 3rd. If I get him in the 3rd, oh my God. God, look out. Wheeling and dealing. All right, who else we got here? Dallas. What we've already talked about Dallas plenty already. Same with Denver. How about Detroit? Who's on the D Rose train?
Oh, I am.
Oh, you're on the D Rose train. You got some D Rose fans in the house. You got, Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin's kind of kind of a song to sing in the mid rounds.
Does Derrick Rose last the whole year in Detroit, or at the deadline? Do you think maybe they move him somewhere? I think I do. I got a share of Derrick Rose. Okay. I've always been a fan, and I'm kind of banking on he won't play his whole season in Detroit. Mm-hmm. But we'll have to see.
Where do you like him going, other than maybe back to Chicago?
Any contender, I really think, who needs just a minutes guy to come in for. Last year I really thought he'd end up on the Lakers. I was kind of surprised that he stayed pat, but I think you could see one of those contenders, Clippers, get him for fairly cheap.
Fun fact, advanced stat on Derrick Rose. He had 31% usage for Detroit last year. He ranked 10th in the league. He wasn't even a starter the whole year.
Didn't he have close to the same stats on average as his MVP year?
No need to rub it in, Blake. No need to rub it in. Yeah, it hurt. Yeah, he had an amazing year. I'd like to see him just be the starter there. They have Killian Hayes ahead of him. Is there any other options here that we should be noting other than Blake Griffin?
Well, another ball got released, and
yeah, all the big names are gone. They're not there anymore. I mean, like Dion Wright, like Mason Plumlee, like Derrick Rose, Blake Griffin, like that's pretty much it. Like I'm not really rostering too many other Pistons there. Who's drafting John Wall?
You can get him in the 7th, it looks like.
I'm not drafting John Wall, though.
No.
I said, who's drafting John Wall? Who's ready to pull the trigger? Who says that's a good idea? Let's do that.
Does he stay healthy? I mean, that's my biggest question mark with him.
Mm-hmm.
Healthy, I mean, yeah, I think you could see him go 8th, 9th. I wouldn't have a problem pulling the trigger there, especially with uncertainty around James Harden. If he does miss some time or, he gets shipped out, then John Wall has a bigger role in that offense. But
that's true.
I mean, health is probably the biggest question for me when it comes to John Wall.
Yeah, with Wall, think about like what he did in Washington. He had the bigger role there, and he just got hurt all the time, even with the deal and stuff. I'm staying away from Wall. I don't.
Yeah, I'm staying away from him. The guys I like there, what was it? Eric Gordon, Christian Wood. That's what I want a piece of. I really wanted Christian Wood on the Bulls. I was banging my head so hard into the mic when I found out he went to Houston. It's very sad. Very sad. I just want a big man. I just wanted a big man. Him or Tristan Thompson. I would have taken either of those dudes on the Bulls. I would have loved it. Let's go over to Indiana. Victor Oladipo. This is a guy that I love. I use him a lot in like DFS, but I don't know. Like he's just not really that consistent on the stat line all the time. Always getting hurt. Him, Miles Turner. Anyone else on this roster you guys like?
Brogdon.
Okay. Steve, Tom, anyone else?
Sabonis. Yeah, I take Sabonis.
Is he really that safe though for fantasy? Sabonis?
I mean, he's a double guy.
Okay, I didn't know that off the top of my head. No worries.
Yeah, I like Lamb a little bit. I don't know why. I guess maybe it's the name in PTSD or whatever, but I like Lamb.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Yeah, I'll take some Miles Turner there. I think that's the biggest name that I want. Says he's kind of banged up right now. What's he dealing with? Just out for an illness. Yeah, he's a little sick. Everybody's gonna be a little sick in 2020, right? You stay home. What's up, Steve?
How do you guys feel about TJ Warren after he kind of had that? He exploded there towards the end of last season. Do you think there's anything there, or do you think that was a flash in the pan for a guy like him?
I think he's still playable. I think you can get him in the 5th or 6th round probably, but I think he's worth the risk, especially showing what he did last year. I mean, he's very similar to Tobias Harris.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good comparison. I'll roll the dice with him. I'll roll the dice with him. Those big blow up spots, those were solid. Helped out a lot of people in DFS. That's for sure. Didn't you have him in one of those like 40 plus nights, Blake?
On a DFS lineup, yeah, I played him a lot because I mean the bubble days you only had so many options. So yeah, I was all over him when he was blowing up.
Right on. Yeah, I like Miles Turner there. I'll take a dice roll on TJ Warren as well. Yeah, the Los Angeles teams were pretty locked in on Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies. Where are you guys taking Ja Morant? That's a guy I love watching play. I'm seeing him going like the 3rd round. It's a little rich though, man. Like Ja Morant, Russ Westbrook went literally a pick ahead of him. Like, like that's a little rich, I feel like, for Ja Morant. What do you guys think?
Who would you rather have, Morant or Fox?
Well, or who?
Or Fox. De'Aaron Fox.
Probably De'Aaron Fox, because De'Aaron Fox, where's he getting drafted?
I mean, they've got to be close to each other.
Yeah, he's going around later. I like where he was getting drafted, Ja Morant. I'd take Russell Westbrook over him in that round, but De'Aaron Fox, I'll just take a round later. Like, I feel like I could get either of those guys potentially in the 4th or 5th round. I feel like the 3rd is just a little too rich. The 3 players that went ahead of him: Westbrook, Levine, and Paul George. Like, yeah, I want all 3 of those dudes for sure. The 3 players after Ja Morant in that round: Siakam, Zion, Andre Drummond. Who, to be honest, I'll probably take ahead of Ja Morant as well. I feel like he's kind of getting pulled ahead in that spot there. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think he's more like late third, early fourth round. Especially with those names you just threw out there. I'd rather have those 5 over him.
What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, I think that's a little maybe recency bias coming into play there. I think he had all the hype last year being the rookie. I'm taking Paul George. I think we don't see much of Pandemic P anymore. I think he comes back. He was second in MVP voting, second or third 2 years ago. So I mean, I'm hopping on Paul George before I even think about John Morant.
Yeah, I just think that's too rich right there in the third round. What do you think, Blake? Lock it up.
I just am scared to take guards in the early rounds. I feel
who in the early rounds?
I feel guards. I just feel like I have to load up on centers and forwards.
Yeah, I mean the way that your 9 category rosters are built, that's just where you can still get guys that knock out threes all day in the back end middle of your middle rounds. Like where's Chris Middleton going? He's going in like the 4th or 5th. Yeah, where's he at? I'm trying to find him right now.
I'd say around 5th or 6th.
Let's see. Well, he's got to go ahead of Lonzo Ball. And Lonzo Ball went in the 6th. So where are you at, big guy? Yeah, he went in the 4th in this one. Early 4th round after De'Aaron Fox, who you just referenced, and ahead of Robert Covington. So kind of like right in that mix. Ahead on that team, he already had Vucevic, Joel Embiid, and Dame Lillard. It's a pretty good start. Not bad. Oh, that was my team. Sorry. My bad. Didn't realize that. Good job, me. Well done. All right, let's move on to the next squad here. Miami, kind of a big deal, right? Went to the ship, didn't really do much. Blake, you mentioned Dragic already. He's getting incredible value in drafts. What about Jimmy Butler? Were you guys ready to take Jimmy Butler? Still going. I'm seeing smack dab in the middle of the second round. Don't like it.
I'd rather have Bam.
I agree. And Bam is going where? He's going a couple rounds later, isn't he?
No, around the same area.
Yeah.
Same area.
Oh, shit. He went right after him in this one. Hell, that's not great. But this one, they went Bam ahead of DeAndre Ayton. I'm not with that. I want DeAndre Ayton ahead of Bam this year.
You have Vucevic back there still, too. I mean, who would you rather have, Bam or Vuce?
It's a good question. Probably Vooch.
I go Vooch in that situation too.
What about you, Tom?
Yeah, I like Vooch. But I also like Jimmy Butler though. At the same time, like I do think middle second round too early. Maybe like
that's
beginning of the third. I'll pull the trigger, but there's too much talent in the middle of the second to go Jimmy Butler.
Butler doesn't hit threes. I mean, he really doesn't. And you got Harrow there. I mean,
yeah,
he had a coming out party. He's gonna keep on shooting the ball.
Oh yeah, Robinson, Hero, Dragic. Yeah, they got shooters like for sure. Like Butler is more of let's start the ball here and then we'll get it to the other guys. Like it's he starts the offense, but it doesn't necessarily finish it. It doesn't always make its way back to him, especially with all those weapons in the lineup. Where he's getting drafted, I would rather have Joel Embiid, Donovan Mitchell, Bam probably. I see John Collins right there. Reference him at the end of the second. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander getting drafted at the end of the second. That's also a little rich for me, in my opinion. But
that guy cost me $10,000.
You want to go ahead and let off on that? You want to get off? Tell people to get off your yard. Panthers rant. Go ahead. Let them have it.
No, he's great. But second round, come on.
I know, man. Some of these, people, they just hype up their own guys, though. They get stuck in their own heads and they, come up. I'm not going to call them conspiracy theories, but like some string theory, some crazy stuff they come up with. They got the billboards in the back of their rooms, clippings of newspapers and stuff, and they're connecting all the dots. And for what?
Right.
Yeah, that guy had, what was it? He took Luka and then Alexander. That's a terrible start, in my opinion, but whatever. Yeah, I hate that start.
Well,
I like Luka.
But yeah.
He got Luka at 2, so that's some value, some free cheddar there. Let's see here. Let's get back to this teams. Milwaukee, I think it's pretty straightforward. We're all going to be targeting Giannis. Excuse me. Middleton, Holiday are going to be right there. I'm taking a Holiday before I take Middleton, though. How about you guys?
Yeah, I think he's going to do some big things with Giannis. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I'm looking for him to take off this year. To be perfectly honest with you, I wouldn't mind taking him in the 3rd or 4th round. I wouldn't hate that at all. If I went, big man, I would not hate following up with True Holiday in the 3rd or 4th at whatsoever. Let's see here. Minnesota. What do you guys think about my boy Juancho Hernangomez? Hernangomez. Anyone want to correct me?
Hernangomez.
Hernangomez. I love that dude.
Hernangomez.
He's like my depth forward guy. He was just always grabs rebounds. Doesn't do a ton of points, but he plays defense. Obviously,
He's like
I think
Bielitsa now or what?
Yeah, right. I think everyone's like on like the Ricky Rubio, D'Angelo Russell, but I just want to throw in some love for that dude because I'm always on him. I'm assuming everyone's taking D'Angelo Russell probably after Karl Anthony Towns on this roster.
Yeah, I think you see him and Cat together. I think they both kind of take a next step, kind of developing their game together. They get another full season together, and I probably am taking D'Angelo.
Blake, tell me, what do you think?
I like D'Angelo, yeah. But
yeah,
I
also
like
guy.
Rubio too. Like I think he's gonna be a solid filler.
Rubio's a steal.
I was just looking. That's exactly what I was looking for. Actually, is where he's getting drafted. I'm trying to find it. Like what his current value is right now.
Like 8th or 9th.
Let me take a look. I see John Wall going in the 8th, and I feel like he's going to go ahead of Rubio. Wow, Rubio in the 11th in this one. Wow. That's super deep, man. Wow. He went. Listen to this. He went after Sexton, after Colby White. Man, I don't love that whatsoever.
It's reasons like that, like. Take centers and forwards in those early rounds. You can get Rubio in the 11th. Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's not going to be people chasing down Ricky Rubio, or even like a Colin Sexton. That's incredible value.
Think about the people that are drafting guards early. They're going to panic and be like, they're going to be grabbing Kevin Love and Blake Griffin.
Yeah. Oh, poor Kevin Love. Poor Kevin Love. Getting some hate. Yeah, I saw PJ Tucker go 4 picks ahead of Ricky Rubio. So it's like, would you rather start off your draft with like a really good big man and then, grab like a Ricky Rubio, or get a guard and be plugging in PJ Tuckers? You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the questions you're going to be asking yourself when you're trying to, get sharp around those early picks. Next up, New Orleans, staying away from the Lonzo Ball. We already kind of mentioned that, he's kind of a cancer to your 9 category teams. Where are you guys comfortable drafting Zion?
3rd round.
3rd round? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't hate
Steve
that.
Blake?
I'd go 3rd, late 3rd, early 4th.
Yeah, I would hope to grab him in the 4th personally. I think we need to see a little bit more out of him. Last year, he was kind of sitting out some games, trying to get his feet under him in the NBA. I think he's going to be good, no doubt. But I think we need to see more shooting wise, things like that from him.
Yeah, absolutely. To me, absolutely. Ingram is absolutely going to help that. But for me, the biggest step forward is the minutes. Don't take him out after 4 fucking minutes, man. Like, they take him out so fast to just take care of him. And I know, like, he's not, necessarily developing a running stride still. He's still kind of a waddler down the floor. I get it, but the dude's dominant. Like, when he is on the ball, like some of his motions, like his takes to the basket, it does not look like it's going to go in. And then just whoop, there it is. Just a little last second little hook or something. Or just like when he continuously tips rebounds to himself. Like, it's crazy. It's just wild, the things that he does. Just play him more, please. And I think we've already seen that in some of the preseason. Like, I feel like they're letting him off the leash a little bit. I was excited to see the amount of minutes that he played so far. So I'm comfortable taking him in the 4th. Would prefer to grab him in the 5th. What I really like to do to start drafts is balance it out. Guard that gets me the stats I need, big man that gets me the stats to balance that. The next guard after that, like 3rd pick, and then 4th pick, big man again. That's kind of like the approach that I want for him. I don't necessarily want him to be like my 2nd big man if I took a big man in the 1st, and then followed up with a big man in the 4th. I wouldn't want my 2 guards in between. I like to balance that out. So for that approach, like if you're that type of fantasy drafter, you go guard, big man. He's a good guy to put into that type of strategy, in my opinion. Home run in the 5th. I've seen him go in the 5th round. If you get him in the 5th round, knocked out of the park.
It definitely
Definitely
helps when he has shoes that don't explode either.
What's that?
It definitely helps when his shoes don't explode either.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that will help. I think he's got that situation taken care of. Nike got on top of that. They were not happy about the performance of the brand that night.
All George shoes.
Yeah. Oh man. Anyone drafting a New York Knick? I'm not.
I did last year. I totally did it. I didn't regret it, but I drafted Randall, and he gave me some good weeks.
I'm not drafting any New York Knicks.
Yeah.
Fade all Knicks.
They're probably all going to be on waivers, and if you need somebody, go get them.
It'll definitely be plug and play night. This guy's playing 36 minutes, so we'll get him. Nerlens Noel. I'm not getting RJ Barrett.
No, RJ Barrett, even in this preseason, he's looked rough at times. Air balls, things like that. I don't know. Has bust written on me.
I agree. I'm not with it whatsoever. Tommy, you taking any Knicks? I know you're somewhat of a New York guy.
Well, actually, how you say that?
Did you
the
draw
Twitter poll?
out of
I
the
also
hat?
saw the Twitter poll. It all ended up being even. So the Twitter poll I had out there, what team I'm going to follow. We had Brooklyn, we had New York, Nuggets, and Memphis. It was a tie, 4-way tie. I'm going Pelicans.
No.
Got out to the tie. Hey.
It's a 4-way tie.
Yeah, how did that happen?
I don't know. They're just all not that good. I don't know. Who were they? It was the Pelicans, the Nets. Those are good. I like
Nuggets.
those options. I like the Nuggets too. I just don't like the Knicks.
It's just
The Knicks don't like the Knicks.
yeah.
Come on.
I'm staying away from the Knicks unless I need some matchup, something weird's happening, and Rivers. I was he'll be perfect. I doubt it. DSF maybe, but they're the Jets of basketball. Come on.
Oh, absolutely. Home run there, Tom. Home run take there. The Jets of basketball. The goddamn Knicks. Unreal. No, they're absolutely. Oklahoma City. Alexander. We just said we're not taking him in the second round. Where are you comfortable taking him?
4th.
5th? Yeah.
4th.
I don't know, man. The players that are going in the 4th, I feel like I could be very convincing otherwise. I'll just rattle off some names to you. Kyle Lowry, Christian Wood, Chris Paul. Would you rather have Chris Paul or Alexander? Take Chris Paul.
I'll take Paul.
I'll take
Alexander.
Let's dive into that a little bit. What do you think about Chris Paul in Phoenix, Blake?
It's good for him. But you got Alexander.
For Phoenix.
Yeah. It's Alexander's going to be playing mad minutes. That's my argument. He's just going to be on the court more.
Yeah.
He's going to play a lot, but the team's bad. They're in tune for a dive this year. Who else? Who else on the roster would you draft in for fantasy wise?
From OKC?
Yeah. Anybody?
No one.
Exactly.
Only Alexander. Only Alexander.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those situations. Is this dude like is he about to take off? Is this just kind of like
that's like drafting Levine? You could say the same thing about drafting Levine. And he didn't. And I think he finished top 10 last year. So sometimes you just got to take a scrub on a shitty team.
Well, it's like the only piece on a shitty team, I guess. Were you gonna say something, Steve?
Yeah, no. Someone's got to score the points for him, though.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Someone's got to put up buckets, but that's another team I'm just trying to stay away from. Alexander's value in fantasy, it just seems too rich because of the situation there, and I'm just not trying to chase that value into the early round.
I'll take a Dort, last pick. That guy had some great games late. So
Horford somewhere at the end of the draft.
You get Dort in the last round and watch him be a starter playing 30 minutes. That's a steal.
All right. Yeah. Your last pick. If he's a starter playing that many minutes, he's got to do something. He's got to fill some category of some kind. What about Al Horford at the end? Anything?
No, thank you.
Love? No, poor Al. So old. Sorry, Al. Let's see. Orlando. I think just the big men, right?
Yeah.
Just Vooch and Gordon.
Does Alfred Payton still there?
No.
He's
no.
Or is he at the Knicks?
So with the Knicks, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a starter for the Knicks. He's a point guard for the Knicks. Poor guy.
So
Poor guy says stuff.
God, who am I thinking of?
Markelle Fultz?
Yeah, Fultz, or is it Fultz? Yeah, Fultz.
Michael Carter-Williams?
I mean, you're going to get Fultz so late. I mean, I don't hate it if you get him late and you have, you know.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be the starter there. He should be playing a lot of time. And apparently the situation in Orlando is just a lot better for him. He likes the personnel a lot more. He just did not connect with the Sixers. So
yeah, you got to love a first overall pick going last in the fantasy drafts.
It's not bad. It's not bad, right? He like the the values there, or the perceived hype or whatever value is there. But does he do it, in Orlando? And what type of role is Carter Williams going to play? Like, what type of minutes is he going to grab from him? I don't know. I don't know. I'm taking the big man. I'm taking Aaron Gordon and Vooch where I can. Aaron Gordon at value is going to be a really good pick. Where did he go in my last mock?
What about who am I thinking of? Their power forward that's always hurt, but when he's on the court, he's really good.
Well, they have Aaron Gordon and Vucevic playing the 4 and 5 typically. James Ennis?
He might play the 3. No, it's not Ennis.
Dwayne Bacon. Evan Fournier?
No.
I don't know. All right. Well, you let me know who you got. All right. Very, very well.
Anyone? Mo Bamba? Anyone for that team?
Nah.
Sorry, bud. It's fun, like the storyline of it, but it's just not going to fill the numbers, not going to play enough minutes, not going to be there for me, especially with Gordon and Vooch there. Like, those dudes they're just home run picks. Where's Aaron Gordon going? Well, you looked that up. I'm trying to find where Aaron Gordon is going in my mock here. They categorize forwards as the color blue, but there's so many damn forwards, it drives me nuts. So they're very hard to find.
The guy's name is Jonathan Isaac.
Oh, John Isaac. Okay. Is he still there, though?
Yeah.
Yep.
But if he's healthy, he's playing, he's productive. So, I mean, if you snag him at the end of your draft and he comes back and plays.
They have him at the very end of the depth chart for some reason.
But if he's hurt, then obviously don't draft him. I didn't look into how he's recovering.
No, but it's a good take though. You want to pull him up. So let's see here. He is applied for a disabled player exception due to the season-ending knee injury. Let's see, when was that? And that was in November. So yeah, he gone. He gone. Don't draft that guy if you guys were getting sharp on some Isaac. But that's why we go through it.
Exactly.
Yep. All right. So really quick here. Next up, we got we kind of already touched on Phoenix. What about Philadelphia? Ben Simmons, like just second round gold, or I feel like he's kind of like a lock in the second round. Maybe not gold is the word to use, but he's going to be there in the second round, or at least go in the second.
Very solid second round pick, in my opinion.
Yeah, it seems like a really safe second round pick for me. Like, I just won't be that upset about it. I won't love it. Like, it's not a great sleep every night, but I'm going to feel pretty comfortable just because he fills so many stats still as a point guard.
Yep.
Where do you see Embiid going?
End of the first. End of the first, beginning of the second. Like, that's where I constantly see him going. Pretty much like picks 13 through 16 is like pretty much a lock for Joel Embiid. Some of the mocks I did, I've gotten Devin Booker and Joel Embiid. I like that start. I don't hate that. With taking Embiid in the second. So he's going to be solid. I like their roster, man. I like adding Seth Curry. I think that's going to be a pretty interesting setup. They're saying they're going to run Curry at the 2 or whatever. I mean, Curry and Simmons out there, cut it up however you want, but Simmons handling the ball, Curry coming off screens and stuff like that. It's going to be pretty interesting. I'm excited to see them play.
So is Danny Green their 6th?
I guess so. Yeah. Or no, he's going to start at the 3. Tobias Harris at the 4.
Interesting. Yeah,
so Simmons, Curry, Harris, Green, and Embiid. It's not bad.
On the right night, I mean, that team could really be clicking, just shooting.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that helps.
Korkmaz, he can hit too.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? So they got Dwight Howard coming off the bench randomly. I mean, not fantasy relevant necessarily, but just like the team wise, the depth is going to be there. So it's going to be interesting. Could you imagine seeing Dwight Howard and Embiid on the floor at the same time, going big, loading up? That'd be wild.
That's the power eye right there.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go. Line them up down the middle. Let's see. Sacramento, De'Aaron Fox, Harrison Barnes. I don't hate in fantasy. Like he does not do anything for your scoring. Doesn't do anything for 3-pointers, total points, like even field goals. But everything else, he touches all of it. He really does. Like the late rounds, I feel like he's worth a look. What do you guys think?
What round?
I think so.
Late rounds, double digit, last 3 picks.
All right. Yeah, I like it.
He's not a guy that I want to worry about trying to add, because he's a guy that could have like a really big night one, like just like game 1, game 2, and you just miss on him, and he'll never be a guy that's like, oh, he's absolutely starter every night. He gets priority over this guy, when there's more games than there are roster spots. He's not that guy, but he's a guy that you want to be plugging in on the off nights, the slow nights when there's little games and you just need somebody to just kind of keep moving the stats along, just keep the numbers rolling. He's one of those guys for me.
And for me too, like you got to risk it to get the biscuit. I'm going Kyle Guy. I love him.
Kyle Guy. You're getting a little rich. You're getting a little rich on the Kyle Guy. His minutes may not be there. The minutes may not be there. No, but I don't think so to start.
You never know. Hey, you got to risk it to get the biscuit sometimes.
Yeah, I drafted Harrow like last round last year, and that worked out beautifully.
Nice. Well, I would say Kyle Guy is worth the watch list to start the year. I don't know if I'm drafting him, but he'll be on the click to watch that guy, to keep him on my my waiver wire watch or whatever. I don't want to lose eyes on him. I want to keep seeing what he's doing. Because hey, buzzer beater is a buzzer beater, and he shot well in that game in general. Like it wasn't just like a flash in the pan shot or anything like that. So yeah, I think he's going to be worth a look. Luke Walton likes him.
And they're getting beat that bad. This is the young talent play. Hey, he's going to get garbage time. Why not?
He was a guy that really excelled in the G League too. I read up a little bit on him after obviously highlight play and all that. So yeah, he excelled a lot last year in the G League. 55th pick overall, I think, something like that in the second round. So yeah, it could be worth a look. And like Blake said, those guys, the last couple picks, Markelle Fultz, Tyler Hero, you never know. You can always hit gold, right?
What about someone like Hassan Whiteside? He's there right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So he's a guy that finishes like top 3 in rebounds. So yeah, I think De'Aaron Fox, Hassan Whiteside are home runs. What do you guys think about like Marvin Bagley? It looks like he's going to make the starting lineup. You're going to draft him in fantasy?
Where at? Do you know where he's going?
I don't know. I feel like he's actually going ahead of Harrison Barnes. Let me see if I can find it here. I'm just going to look at the back end of the draft. I'm not even going to look up front.
Is Bielitsa still there?
Who?
Bielitsa.
No, I don't believe so. With the Kings? Oh yeah, he is. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he is. He'll be coming off the bench. He just seems like a bench guy, though, doesn't he?
It's just hard to predict with that team because it seems like they rotate their forwards.
Yeah, I can't. Maybe Bagley isn't getting drafted. I can't see him in here. Marvin. Sound like there's any other Marvins.
Marvin Williams.
Marvin Williams. Is Marvin Williams getting drafted, though?
Probably not. Who does he play for? Charlotte?
Yeah. Doesn't help.
Or no, he plays for the Bucks now.
Okay. Still doesn't help.
No, it doesn't.
Doesn't. I'm not seeing him here. We'll have that pulled up for another time. We'll circle back to the Kings on another episode of the Hizzy. San Antonio, anyone other than LaMarcus Aldridge, Derek White, DeMar Rosen. I like DeMar Rosen at the back end if you can get him. Doesn't hold up the same value, though, as years past.
I like White.
Like Derek White?
For where he's going in drafts.
Yeah, I suppose so. Tom, Steve, what do you think?
I like DeRozan on the back end. I mean, like you said, he's not the player he was, but he's still going to get you some fantasy value there.
All right, I got you. Fair enough. Yeah, I think I'm just going to stick to LaMarcus Aldridge. I think he's fair value and anywhere picks 8+. I'll take him. He did get hurt though last year for me. He was a guy that I had on my team, but San Antonio, very next man up roster. I think I kept filling in with like Trey Lyles. Trey Lyles is getting it done for me, filling in for Aldridge.
DeJounte Murray's, he's in that argument to be drafted.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's a good value at the end of the draft as well. How about Toronto? Blake, I know you're a big Siakam guy. Is he a lock for you, like in the third round?
Yeah, I'll take him in the third easily. I mean, I feel like so that's stealing. I mean, to be honest, the guy does it. He does it all across the board. He'll get you steals, blocks. I mean,
Yeah, like,
what else can you ask for at the third round pick?
I referenced Jokic as my safest first round pick, Ben Simmons as my safest second round pick. I would put Siakam in the mix for safest third round pick. I like him a lot. I mean, he does everything for that team.
I'm going to be interested to see what a newbie does this year with that big step forward in the playoffs, hitting that buzzer beater against my Celtics.
Happens.
That fucking guy. OG1, a newbie.
Oh, it's pretty fun, right? Getting into that Star Wars mix there. I like it. Steve, Tom, what do you guys think for Siakam? Are you willing to pull a trigger on him in the third?
Yeah, I got some shares of Siakam. I think he's a dog. I think he, like you said, he kind of all around. He kind of fills up the stat sheet. So I mean, I like him in the third a lot.
Yeah, I like him too in the third, and then I also like Lowry, like towards the middle, almost double digit rounds.
I'd rather have Van Fleet over Lowry.
Bam, you said?
Van Fleet.
Oh, Van Fleet, Fred Van Fleet. Play some defense, huh? Plays that D.
Yeah, I think you're getting the same guy in later rounds. Is he going later than Lowry?
I think so. I think Lowry's going in like the third or fourth round. Let me pull it up here. I think in the last one I did, it was the fourth. But I've seen him go in the third for sure. I know I have. Let's see here. Yeah, it looks like he went at the end of the fourth in this one. And Van Fleet, let's take a look. It got to be a couple rounds back. Let's see. Not seeing him. Where are you at, Fred? There's LeVert in the 10th. He's got to be ahead of that. Fred Van Fleet in the fourth. Same round. Oh, actually, no. I'm reading that incorrectly. Van Fleet went ahead of Lowry by 1, 2, 3, 4 picks.
I'd take him over that. I'd take him over Lowry.
Yeah, but I'd like to get
there.
I want to see one go before the other. You know, like I don't want to rush to one. That's kind of like one of those situations with like in football, Julio or Ridley. Like I want to see one go before I grab the other. Kind of a similar situation. Like I don't want to rush to one of them. I just want the other one to just kind of fall to my lap. Nick is saying OG Anunoby.
Yeah,
that's his guy. Next up, we got just like two teams left here. We got Utah. Give me all of Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, Bojan Bogdanovic, my favorite Bogdanovic, if I know any of the Bogdanoviches. That's my guy. Bojan is always on my team. He's always going to be on my roster.
Nice.
Anyone else? I mean, Mike Conley. I mean,
Mike Conley. I will definitely take me some Mike Conley.
Yeah, but I will go out of my way to get this Bogdanovic on my roster. Does anyone like another Bogdanovic more? Maybe in Atlanta, Bogdan.
I love him. I think I don't know which one's going first, but I like them both.
That's a good question. Let's find out. Steve, Tom, give me your takes on this team here. Who do you like the most? While I look this up really quick, because I want to find out which Bogdanovic is going first.
Yeah, I think Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, those are slam dunks. I think Mike Conley, I'll throw a dart at, see how that lands me. And Bogdanovic, I don't know if I love him more than Bogdan, but
way more than Bogdan.
I mean, yeah, I think you can get some value out of those guys.
All right, so I'm seeing Bojan here in the 11th. Just gold in the 11th round, no big deal. Where's Bogdan? Where are you at? Where are you hiding, Bogdan? He probably went ahead of him. Bogdan definitely does have more of that scoring touch, like the assists and everything, but Bojan does it all, man. He adds all of it in. Yep. Looks like Bogdan went one round ahead of him. Yeah, he's son of a bitch. Got Bojan by one round, but I'm taking Bojan all day. I'll take Bojan in the 9th, no big deal.
I think it just comes down to your roster.
And you're right. But I'll definitely go out of my way to break the flow to grab Bojan for sure. Like I will take him in the 9th round. I mean, James Wiseman went in the eighth round. I will take Bojan ahead of James Wiseman. Sorry, gonna do it. Who else is here? DeMarcus Cousins in the 9th round. DeAndre Jordan in the 9th round. Victor Oladipo. Marcus Morris, Paul Millsap. Yeah, I'll take Bojan over all those dudes. We didn't get to finish out the league last year, so I don't get to say that Bojan is a league winner. But I came in second, in an unfinished league. I rode all of them too. And I'll tell you what, I wasn't winning matchups when he wasn't in my lineup when he was banged up a little bit. I'll tell you that. All right, last up, Washington. Where are we taking Russ Westbrook? Russ Westbrook and Bradley Beal. Who do you take first, and in what round?
If you don't get Russ in the second, you ain't getting him.
True, I agree. But I've also seen him go in the third, so
I'll be shocked if that happens.
That's my feeling. Like if I do get a big man in the first round, I want Westbrook in the second. Last year, I took Dame Lillard in the first, as I told you guys. I almost followed it up with Westbrook because I was just like, man, like I like this situation, but I didn't do it. I took Vucevic instead, because I like I told you guys, I like that balance, guard, big man, or big man guard, whatever. So I averted away from it, but he was just sitting there. I was like, man, why didn't I just take a big man instead? It worked out for me. But yeah, I think he's a home run in the second. Steve, Tom, what do you think? What do you guys think?
Yeah, 8-7 earlier Westbrook, but I'm really just targeting Beal. I think Beal's going to go to the next level. Russell Westbrook's durability is way better than Walls was. So having that extra person feeding him the ball, I think Beal, you're going to see his numbers skyrocket.
Well, it's quite the upgrade from Ish Smith, no?
A little bit.
Just a little. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, so I actually agree with Tommy. I mean, I think Russell Westbrook you're going to get what you've gotten out of Russell Westbrook. You kind of know what you're getting. But I'm really high on Bradley Beal. I think every year he just kind of keeps taking a bigger leap. And I think he could be a steal if he falls.
No, I agree too. I feel like Bradley Beal, I mean, he could take off into these like top 5 scorer conversations, up there, with Harden, with Devin Booker, with Dame, with Westbrook in the lineup. I think that possibility is there. I can't really compare him to like Zach LaVine of last year because they're pretty similar, I think, in numbers from last year. But I just think like that shock factor, like Blake, like where did you get LaVine last year? In the 4th round, 5th round?
4th or 5th.
Yeah, like you got
happening this year.
Yeah, exactly. Like I got Tatum in the 3rd last year, not happening in 2020 or 21, whatever you want to call it. It's weird how the season is. Are they calling it 21, 22?
I think so.
Yeah, it's weird. Like it's so weird. It's all 21. It's just happening all in one year. It's very odd. So yeah, I'll take Westbrook ahead of Beal still. Because that like I'm kind of guessing on that, right? Like I have to, have that take come home for me. Like I need Beal to take off, whereas Westbrook, his numbers are just all established, and I feel like that's just a safer pick for me because Westbrook could come in and the counter could happen, right? Like we're saying, like Beal could take off, he could like leap into that top 5 scoring, race or title race. But he could also go backwards too, right? Like Westbrook could eat into those numbers and Beal could just kind of tamper off a little bit, So there's a little bit more risk there. But as we've been saying this episode, you got to risk it to biscuit to get the biscuit, right? So that is still there. We got a couple minutes here before we close down the show. Before we do, viewers, be sure to destroy the like button and subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. But we're going to close it out. Tom, as you've referenced before, it's going to be your first season playing fantasy basketball. What rookie questions do you have your first year coming in? Anything to close us out with?
Yeah, for sure. Like, what position are we targeting early and for early, let's say 4 rounds? Blake kind of touched on like he was going big man. You guys kind of went guard. Like, what do you guys think?
I think the most valuable still early on is the big men. And that's just because of like roster formation. Like as you're building your roster, as we've kind of referenced in this episode, the later you get into the drafts, it's harder to find, even the stable talent with the big men, right? Like the guys that can come in and plug and play for you, like the Harrison Barnes nights that I mentioned, like when you don't have games necessarily and you only have like, 2 or 3 or 4 guys starting and you need to fill those out. Those are where I want guards.
Yeah. I agree too. I think there's a premium on big men. And I think that there's a lot of guys who you can put in that point guard, shooting guard. I'm definitely going big men early and then rounding out my team with some guards.
How about you, Blake?
Like I said, there's just so many options later in the rounds, like 7 through 12. I mean, you can find value at guard. So, I mean, I say load up on forwards and centers while you can before, that drop off.
Yeah, because all the top guys are going to be elite anyways, like Luka versus Anthony Davis, they're both elite. It doesn't matter. Like we have Luka over Anthony Davis for a few reasons, right? And I think those reasons are solid. But at the end of the day, they're both elite players and they could both be in the MVP race, right? So it's really about you building your roster. And that's the fun part about fantasy basketball, realistically, is because you can have success and go so many different directions with it. And that's why I like it, because it allows you to be, a true GM to your fantasy team. I like it a lot. Any others, Tommy?
Yeah, injury players. We know who they are. It's the Porzingis, the Walls, like you name them, they're there. What rounds are you looking at those guys? You still think they're elite talent, like worthy of a top 5 rounds, or are they using them at the tail end?
I'm trying to think of like an injured.
It's similar to like last year. I mean, you draft Zion. How long did we wait until we got him? And then when you did get him, you got to wait for him to be conditioned to be able to, keep playing through games. I mean,
get the big minutes.
If you can stay away, just do it. If they're injured, I wouldn't draft Porzingis. Let someone else waste a pick on him, and hopefully someone good falls to you.
Yeah, I don't think you want to draft like a Porzingis, and like I've seen Porzingis go in the top 5 rounds, and people are saying, "Oh, well, we're going to the IR spot, just going to the roster." Like, well, cool. You could have did that like 4 rounds later. 6 rounds later. Be risk adverse is what I'll say. Steve, you got anything to add to?
No, I mean, you guys kind of hit it right on the head. I mean, with this kind of unknown timetable right now with Porzingis, like you said, let someone else take the risk. It doesn't do much for me if you don't know when you're going to be able to play him.
Yeah. When I look at guys like I have injury guys from last year. Luka, he got hurt. Karl Anthony Towns, he got hurt last year. I have them at both 1 and 2. So it's not like those guys are risky to me because they don't have an injury history. But I got like Wall injury history. I got like Otto Porter injury history. Like even late in the rounds, like you're thinking like, oh, there's no risk here. It's a late round pick. But realistically, there's other value that you could be scooping up there. So I just say be risk adverse.
What about Durant?
I kind of said the same thing, right? Like be risk adverse. I'm scared as shit of Durant. I'm scared. It's as simple as that. He could get hurt at any time.
That's true. And then the big one, rookies. Like when do you take them? It's in the NFL. They plug and play. They're ready to go. Like, they take time. Like you said, Zion. We had to wait. Like when are we drafting rookies? Like did they have that much value?
I think Zion went in like the 3rd or 4th last year. Which is nuts.
Zion was just nuts. Yeah, that was rich. Way too rich. I'm trying to think. Like I don't really think of a rookie that I just have to have. Late
rounds, if you see someone you like in rounds 10 through whatever is left, grab one. If they pop off, awesome. If they don't, I'm sure they'll find someone on waivers.
Oh yeah, and there's going to be someone in the first week, the second week that you're like, hey, I just found some gold on waivers here. Like they're going. It's going to happen for sure.
Oh yeah, because rookies they take their time, so clearly there's a different sport, but. They're hard to crack the lineup sometimes unless you have a Zion Williams, a Ja Morant, But yeah.
Yep. We got Allie, Nick's girlfriend, checking in, saying we had a great first show. Thanks you, Allie. And with that, we're actually going to be closing down the show. So this was Take It to the Hizzy, number 83. Really appreciate everybody stopping by. If you haven't done so on your way out the door, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate that. We are going to be back next Wednesday. I don't know the To the Hizzy number off the top of my head because I got so many To the Hizzy episodes coming up. I'm losing my mind. I got Thursday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Christmas, baby. Let's go. It's going to be wild, but we're taking off over here. Really appreciate everybody stopping by to talk some ball with us tonight. You guys got anything to close the show with?
Just the best of luck to everyone watching.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah. And follow my rookie season articles on Twitter. Hey.
Yep, absolutely. Follow us on Twitter. Man, we went the whole episode. I didn't even put up our Twitter handles. Went the whole episode. Didn't even put up Twitter handles. Unreal. Terrible. Terrible for the brand, guys. I'll do better next time, I swear. A little nervous. Little first basketball episode. You got no big banner behind me today. It's a little different around here in the Hizzy. So, but we're getting it cracking. We're getting rolling. Again, appreciate everybody coming out and riding with us tonight. Take care. Be well. Happy holidays, as Blake alluded to. We'll see you next time. Take care. Be good. Still hear me?
Did you buy that beat?
Oh yeah, I did. That's mine, baby.
Nice.
I went after a dude on TikTok because he tried using it for his Madden shit.
Oh, fuck him.
Oh yeah, Emron sent it to me. He's like, "Oh, guys, this beat is a little familiar," and I was like, "Well, I own a license to that, so
Yep.
eat that." Yeah, I wish Tommy stuck around for a second. How'd you guys feel?
Good.
Solid.
Good. We'll get some a little bit more flow. We had a couple of lulls there, but we'll get some more flow going. Whenever you feel like something's too quiet, just start talking. Whatever you have up. If you have a question, I was constantly going back and forth between the mock. I probably should have had that up. That would probably be more valuable on my screen than having this basketball game on that I was like never watching whatsoever. So next time I'll definitely have that up. Probably live basketball will be better because there'll be like, few less talking points for sure. But I thought you guys did great. You felt comfortable?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Good. I'm glad.
How are my levels? Am I loud enough?
Everybody sounded good. Tommy was a little bit quiet. That could be the mic, or it could just be his speaking a little bit softly. But he has the Blue Yeti, so he's got probably like one of the better ones of all of us. So you just crank up the volume or something. I don't know. I'll talk to him. But yeah, no, I was really happy with it. We had solid views throughout the entire thing. I think like the lowest amount of live viewers we had was like 2 at one point. Mostly it was. Are we still live?
So,